Hey Kaiju fans, so today we'll be taking a look at this Bandai Super Premium Godzilla, one of the biggest Godzillas I have in my collection. This came out probably over 35 years ago now, give or take. We'll be taking a look at it here. And if you do like our content, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and please head on over to our web store, KaijuKingdomCollectibles.com. Okay, so this is no exaggeration. This is one of the biggest Godzillas I personally have in my collection. He is approximately 2 feet tall, and his body is about 20 inches from end to end. Now, if you attach the tail, and I've detached it here because I just couldn't fit it in, it adds another 24 inches. So, all in all, you're looking at a length of about 44 inches. So, this is definitely a massive, massive figure. And this is probably one of the biggest at the time he was released. And in subsequent years, there are other large figures, but this is probably the OG of big Godzilla figures. Okay, so how did I actually get this guy? Well, I ended up getting this after the Super Final Premium Godzilla. I think I showed that in an earlier video. The orange Godzilla, I found that one in Japan, but this one I actually purchased online on Yahoo Japan auctions. I think it was just one of those used figures. It was relatively affordable. Granted, I think I paid upwards about $500 to $600 US for this guy, and this might have been in the early 2000s, I would say. So, certainly it was kind of hard to find in Western stores back in the day. I think it's a little bit more easy to locate now, but certainly it was a rare find for me. At the inception of, let's call it the greater market of the internet, so I was able to actually locate him. Okay, so for the first thing I want to call here are his eyes. These are kind of sort of not as good quality as I would have personally liked. They were attached to the figure when I purchased it. Granted, it was used, but these were actually separate plastic pieces that one would have to basically press in. And certainly over time, this is well over 30 some odd years ago now, the irises have sort of obscured quite a bit just due to the age of the plastic. So that's probably my only real gripe about this figure. The eyes just maybe just don't hold up, and probably not as comparable as to some of the other X Plus offerings that are available more recently. Okay, kind of moving on to the chest area here. So this is probably just by design. At the time I didn't really notice it all that much, but his chest kind of collapses in the center here, and that's not really ergonomically correct for a lot of the other Godzilla sculpts out there. Certainly this one predates a lot of the other figures, so there's probably some limitations in being able to kind of move the arms a little bit, but then have, I guess, a gap in between. So I always kind of noticed that about this particular figure, but nevertheless, it is a Heisei Godzilla, and it's a pretty good rendition of that. I think what's also kind of interesting about this figure is that his arms are kind of full extension here. They're actually quite a bit longer relative to the body than some of the other figures. They really kind of come out and like he can grab something. So I always kind of found that interesting, because a lot of the other smaller offerings, he kind of had his arms sort of tucked into his chest area, more of in a, kind of a crouching sort of pose, and this one is a little bit of a different look. Okay, moving on to the feet here. Yeah, these feet are pretty large and massive, obviously just due to the scale of the figure, but these are pretty well made too, and they're strong enough to kind of bear the weight of this figure. So yeah, I think over time you will see some paint kind of fall off the tips of the nails, but that's just sort of natural, and certainly you can try to protect it as best you can, but it's often pretty difficult. But yeah, I was just always intrigued by how robust everything was from the legs to the feet itself. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and kind of turn this figure around a little bit here, but obviously the spines are always very iconic in all Godzilla media and lore and things like that, and this is no different. Big, huge spines here, just kind of cascading down the back. There is a connection point for the tail here, which you would have to soften up with the hair dryer or a heat gun just so you can insert the tail, but all pretty well painted. It's probably, again, not as high quality as maybe like an X Plus figure, which I'm sure there's a lot of intricate little details here. This is kind of more spray painted on, shaded very nicely, but since this figure is so old, maybe just the craftsmanship and the manufacturing is just not where it is now. So anyway, yeah, very interesting figure for sure, and something that I would certainly want to buy again. And now, last but not least here, the tail, a pretty standard tail, nothing too particularly unique about it, similar to all the other Godzilla figures, except this one is quite a bit longer, and it's about, as I mentioned, about 2 feet long already. So you're going to need a lot of space for this guy, and I think you could probably scare some pets with it as well, because it's a big figure. It's a lot bigger than most cats for sure, and then even I would say a number of dogs as well. So anyway, I hope you like this content, and if you did, please hit the thumbs up button like I mentioned, and we'll go ahead and catch you guys next time.